My name is Grant, and I chose to do my presentation about chapter 6, which is telescopes. So it starts with light, and our eyes, but light is how we perceive the world, visually at least, and what we use as the starting point to understand telescopes, because a lot of what it is based on our eyes, just on a much larger scale. So the eye has three essential parts, which is the pupil, which controls how much light enters, the lens, which bends the light to focus, and the retina, which captures the image for our brain to understand. And a camera is very similar because we got the idea from our eyes. And then the telescope is just an even bigger model, often exponentially larger, as they listed in the text. So the two properties that define the telescope is the light collecting area, which is the area that expands exponentially. So the larger the opening is, you get more light, you can see more, and you can see farther is the other thing, because telescopes, the point is to see far. And then because area increases with the square of the diameter, a telescope 5 times wider collects 25 times the light. And the larger mirrors can span 10 meters, which they can see pretty far, much farther than the human eye. The other property is the angular resolution, and that's the sharpness, and it's based on a very small angle that lets us differentiate if two things are separate. So the reason behind that is that if you could see an image and it was already blurry and you zoom in, you're just looking at an image, a very blurry image from close up. But the higher angular resolution lets us continue to zoom in on a clear image, so we're not just seeing blurs really far away. Which is why telescopes like the Hubble allow us to see these incredibly high definition images of things that are so far away. And there's two types of telescope designs: the refracting telescope, which focuses light with lenses similar to the eye, and the reflecting telescope, which focus lights with curved mirrors. And the mirror needs one precise surface. It can be supported from behind, and most of the modern research telescopes are reflecting. And so what do they do with telescopes? They use it for imaging, spectroscopy, which is spreading light into a spectrum so you can filter out colors, which is how we can perceive through things farther away, by choosing which colors come through. And time monitoring, which tracks brightness over time, which can show the birth of stars and the death of stars as the light gets back to us. And the problem with telescopes on the ground, the big one is the Earth's atmosphere, which the big one is light pollution, and during the day it's harder, which is why scientists prefer to use telescopes during night to see. And the atmospheric blurring, which, since the air is constantly moving, it distorts everything that you try to perceive through. And so the responses, like I mentioned, the first one was to do it at night, when it's dry, so less humidity in the air, calm, you don't want clouds, and at elevated areas. And obviously one that would fix all of that would be to put a telescope in space. So yes, that is telescopes. Thank you.